So, to get you guys at Kung Fu Havoc up to speed, this is the power of simple wooden weapons. Throughout history, throughout America and other countries, the second weapon in history was a stick. The first weapon in history was a rock. The first weapon in history was completely used to eliminate a young man in a field as those who believe in God and believe in the Bible, where Cain was killed, or Abel killed Cain rather, with a rock. Well, as time would go on, more convenient weapons would come from a simple wooden stick. My rod and my staff shall protecteth me. What is your rod? What is your staff? A simple wooden stick. There are a lot of things you can do with a simple wooden stick. Swing, 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 whirl, swing, swing. Change it up. So as I said in my live stream just a second ago, a simple wooden stick. Knights trained their squires with wooden jousting sticks. When they started jousting as games instead of the actual joust where you get on a horse and you're using a spear, which is also designed with one thing in mind. At the base of a spear, in its heart and its glory, it is a simple wooden stick. Spear just has a sharp pointy end on it. Also, depending on what country you come from, where the spear came from, you have a simple wooden stick. That was in my way. This is a sabatu. It is a practice katana. It is taught in many martial arts styles. If you take Aikido, or Jiu-Jitsu, or Judo, you will more than likely find one of these in the dojo. The Aikido one is shredded. It's not made like this. It is shredded with tape here, tape here, tape here. The tape there is basically to hold the damn thing together. Hello, people who just joined me. And the simple wooden stick, you have forms. So you have your block, 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 block. You also have your high strikes, and your mid strike, and your low strike. Now, for those who aren't really up to speed in Japanese warfare, as you know, samurais fought on horses as well as the ground. If you were a lone samurai fighting against someone on a horse, your low midline strike would be to go across the rim of the horse to bring down your enemy, and you switch back to strike your opponent. Your samurai on the horse generally carried a pike. I do not have a pike. I usually use a hockey stick to simulate the pike. We're not doing that today, because the pike technically is not a simple wooden stick. It is a stick, but it has a spear on it. So since we're talking about a simple wooden stick and practice weapons for medicinal purposes, we are using the sabatu. That's probably not the name you've been taught it was called, but that was the name I was taught it was called. So the sabatu. It is basically a wooden version of the katana. You have the tanto, the katana, and the samurai katana. And if you were lucky, you had the shogun katana, which is way out here. This is not that. This is like the long-range samurai katana. All right? So when you are training with this thing, you must treat it like it is a real sword. All right? Same thing like they teach us in Saber Night Lights, where you teach like the emitter is actually a lightsaber. It burns off your hands. Those are our rules. In real training, before you get to a real sword, unless they've changed in Japan over the last thousands of years, you train with this first, so that you can get your block on, and so you can learn the feel of the weapon. A simple wooden weapon is not as light as that samurai katana. See how it's upside down? There is a form for Japanese kung fu, karate, whatever, where it's upside down. But the reason for that is it's a cut through and up, and then you can turn, and you'll be right side up when you cut your next opponent. So this is a block for the guy coming behind you. Swing, get that guy. Swing to get that guy. Block, swing. your simple wooden training staff, your simple wooden training stick, your simple wooden training sword. The reason why they are wood is so that you not injure yourself in the middle of combat while you are training. Also, you might get an overzealous partner that wants to hurt you. This is going to hurt, but it's not going to kill you, metaphorically. Now, if you're like Japanese, so don't get offended, but if you are Japanese, if you're not Japanese, you probably don't know about the legend of the guy who actually could kill people with a wooden sword. All right, I forgot his name, but you can kill people with a wooden sword. You're a pretty badass dude. So, the Japanese guy who had the wooden sword, he had to kill somebody with a wooden sword. And when you are chopping in angles, you know, the power behind your cut and the sharpness of your blade is what is the combo. You can actually hurt somebody with a wooden sword with the right angle. You can cut somebody with a wooden sword with the right angle, especially if it's splintered. So if it's splintered, you guys are probably, that's why it's taped up, by the way. I hit something that I wasn't supposed to hit. So if it's splintered, you can still do damage to someone. Henceforth, that's why it's taped up, in case you just missed that. So, you train like this, and it's like for multiple attacks or whatever, and here's reality. You're never going to get the chance to do that in a fight. Not in a real fight. Looks great on TV. But in a real fight, this here, if you're not careful, you see my guard's not up, you may cut off your own damn arm. Even with your guard up. See how close that damn thing gets to me? You still may cut off your own arm. It's going to be kind of hard to do this and throw a kung fu kick with a real sword and not get your shit cut off. So let's keep it in reality. This is training. Boom, boom, boom. One more. Boom, boom, boom. As long as you're training, you can do that. Real sword, I'm not recommending that because accidents happen. And if you don't master the metal, it would be because you didn't master the wood. Every soldier that has been trained in a martial art or a art that involves a sword of some sort always starts with the simple power of a wooden weapon. We're going to switch back to this tiny stick now. So the reason why I chose this stick, and it's taped up, when I found it, it was like it was talking to me. So I kept it. Now, the reason why I prefer wooden weapons over steel, range. Swiftness. Probably should have took my dog tags off before I'm making this. I just came from the dentist. I can't feel anything in my mouth. Probably should have got my blindfold, right? For you on Facebook, I'm going to end this now. Thank you two for watching. Hey, brother. But before I do, I will say this. Steel weapons are great. I don't trust them. I like having all my fingers and toes. Wooden weapons, it is very rare that you get anything outside of a splinter. Henceforth the gloves. Henceforth the tape. The more you know about a weapon, the more you train with that weapon, the more that weapon becomes a part of you. The problem is you can't always rely on your weapon. So if you're a martial artist and all you do is rely on your weapons, you are losing out on the fundamentals of what your body can do versus having a weapon. I say this all the time. Your body is the only weapon that really counts. This is an extension of your skills. Get your skills straight, then worry about extending them. And you can't always walk around with a sword in your hand. So therefore, you better know what the hell you're doing. Kung Fu Havoc number 2, I'm through. Facebook, I'm out. Alright, so Kung Fu Havoc number 2, I'm through with that part. But I'm going to make a second video. Then I'm going to charge this camera, and I may do a night shoot.